To spend a few moments talking about more lines in D minor. This would be part 3 of an informal kind of chat where we're just looking at some lines casually, seeing what sounds are there, and maybe having a few new ideas about things. If you've not yet done so, please do subscribe to the channel, like and share, leave a comment. If you'd like to make a donation, the PayPal information is in the description below. And here's a little line beginning with a harmonic minor sound. So just the sound of D minor moving away to A7 or C sharp diminished. These are all the notes that are involved in D harmonic minor. D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Now one thing we could do is have melodic minor sounds. We talked about this briefly in the last part 2. So rather than having B flat, C sharp, and D, we'd have B natural, C sharp, and D, making the sound of G7, A7, and D minor, rather than G minor to D minor. So B natural gets to play a part in D minor here. So what I had before was about B and F, part of G7, 4th and 6th fret of the 3rd and 2nd strings. If we raise the B up to C sharp at the 6th fret 3rd string, we can let that tension off to D minor. So it's just 6th and 5th fret. Maybe go to A and F, 7th and 6th fret of the 4th and 2nd strings. One big part of this is just getting the sound in your ear with a name, so that when you hear this in a piece, you can identify it and have another thing in your vocabulary that you are connected with that way, both in terms of how it might appear on the fingerboard and how it appears when you're listening. It plays a big part in the improvisation. How about B and G? So first inversion kind of G7 chord. B and G, 2nd and 5th fret. We can come down here to F at the 3rd fret of the 4th string. This would be A7 over C sharp and G. You can hear it wanting to go to D minor so much. And they're going to split. So 2 and 5, 2 and 3 frets, 4 and 5, 4 and 3, 4 and 2. So C sharp and E, D and F. We end up with a 5th here if we come from 2nd finger, 1st finger, 5th and 3rd fret, 3rd finger walking up to little finger. parts of D minor and continuing that line of, I'm just walking up to each scale neighbor. D, F, F, G, A, then E, G, A, B flat, F, A, B flat, C. If we want 5 of 4, we can get that here. We'll talk about that in a second. Now how about E and G, 7th and 5th frets, walking up A, 7th fret, B flat. We can even widen out contrary motion. How about C and B flat, 6th and 4th strings, 8th frets. Back to G at the 4th string, 5th fret. So the shape to C is this, much like we had, but with a different inside pitch because of the scale. So we could go from C7 to F, F and A, 8th and 7th fret of the 5th and 4th strings. How about a little inversion? So F and A rising up to B flat. So 8 and 7 to 8 and 8. And then when we go to that C note, put an A in the bass, 5th fret of the 6th string, 5th fret of the 3rd string. How about and now what about G minor? So we're coming from F. If we raise that F to F sharp with an A, now we have a D7 sound going to G minor, D7 flat 9. So again, a different interval combination with the inner line, half step. So F sharp and A, walking up to B flat. And when we come to C, 10th fret, we could put D in the bottom, 10th fret of the 6th string. How about coming from D and C with an E flat here on the 3rd string, 8th fret, so 10, 10, 8. And we're going to go to G minor. G and B flat, 10 and 8 on the 5th and 4th strings. Could go down to an inversion as we did for F. How about B flat and D, 6th and 7th fret, 6th and 3rd strings. How about we keep raising the chromatic? We were at G, now how about E7? We talked about this in the previous 2 parts. Putting an E7 before A7. A7 is the 5. It controls a lot of what happens in D minor. Makes D minor sound like 1. So giving A its E7. Is quite powerful. So G sharp and B, 11 and 9. raise up to from B to C, flat 9, E and F, resolving down. All these notes, E, D, C, B, get us to A7. So this is 12 and 11, A and C sharp. How about a little line to wrap it up with A7? A and C sharp, rising up to D, G and E, the flat 7 and the 5th at the 10th and 9th fret of the 5th and 3rd strings. What if we raise that up a half step? E to F. E to G, 7 and 8, the 5th and the flat 7 of A7. Reaching up to the flat 9 there. We talked about this a little bit in part 2, I think. Leaving that tension there with a C sharp in the bass. So you get the 3rd and the flat 9 of A, which would come down from 11 to 10 to D. So something to think about. Part 3 of this little informal series. I hope you're enjoying on D minor. It's a lovely key. It's a nice range for the guitar. We have the first inversion chord down here with the low F. You get to use it for something other than a root. Way up there. Hope this finds you well, enjoying your music, having a good day, and I wish you always happy music, happy playing.